The rain had a way of making the city feel lonelier than it already was. Daniel Carter noticed that first, the way the streetlights blurred into trembling halos, the way footsteps hurried past without looking, the way people wrapped themselves tighter inside their own lives. He pulled his jacket closer around his chest and checked his phone. Late again. Always late. Between his job at the auto repair shop and raising an 8-year-old son alone, time had become something that slipped through his fingers no matter how tightly he tried to hold it. That was when he saw her. She was sitting on the far end of the bus stop bench, small and motionless, like a forgotten thing. No umbrella, no bag, no phone glowing in her hands. Just a thin blue dress clinging to her knees, already darkened by rain. Her head was bowed slightly, as if listening to something no one else could hear. At first, Daniel assumed she was waiting for someone. Then he noticed her eyes. They didn't follow the passing buses. They didn't flinch when headlights flashed too close. They stared forward, unfocused, glassy, seeing nothing at all. She was blind. Daniel's steps slowed. He told himself to keep walking. He told himself it wasn't his business. People had problems. He had problems. His son, Noah, was waiting at home with a half-finished homework sheet and too many questions Daniel never felt fully prepared to answer. But then the girl shifted, and he saw her hands trembling. Not from the cold alone, but from fear. A bus pulled up. People rushed forward.
The doors closed.
The bus drove away. She didn't move. That was when Daniel realized something that made his chest tighten. She wasn't waiting. She had been left. Daniel approached carefully. "Hey," he said softly, not wanting to startle her. "Miss?" Her head lifted instantly, like she had been waiting for a voice. Her lips parted, then closed again. She swallowed. "Yes," she whispered. I'm Daniel," he said awkwardly. "Are you okay? Do you need help?" Her fingers curled into the fabric of her dress. "I was told someone would come back." The way she said it, so practiced, so hopeful, hit him harder than he expected. "How long have you been here?" he asked. She hesitated. "I don't know. It was light when I arrived." Daniel glanced at the sky. Night had already swallowed the city. "Do you have a phone?" he asked. She shook her head. "They said I didn't need it."
They.
"Who brought you here?" Daniel asked gently. The girl's voice cracked. "My aunt." Something cold settled in Daniel's stomach. "And she left you?" "She said she had to get something," the girl replied. "She said the bus stop was safe. She said I should wait and not move." Daniel exhaled slowly through his nose. He'd heard excuses like that before, heard them in courtrooms, on news reports, in the broken stories people tried to tell themselves so they could sleep at night. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lily." "How old are you, Lily?" 13. 13. Too young to be sitting alone in the rain. Too young to trust words that never came back. "Lily," Daniel said, crouching slightly so his voice stayed calm, "I don't think your aunt is coming back." Silence stretched between them. Then her chin began to tremble. "I tried to be good," she said. "I didn't move. I didn't ask anyone. I counted buses like she taught me." Daniel felt something break open inside his chest. "You didn't do anything wrong," he said quickly. "None of this is your fault." Her hands lifted blindly, searching for something solid. Without thinking, Daniel reached out and let her fingers wrap around his sleeve. "They said I was a burden," Lily whispered. "They said I cost too much." Daniel swallowed hard. His mind flashed to Noah, to late nights, to bills stacked on the counter, and still, he had never once thought of his son as a burden. Never. "I'm a single dad," Daniel said quietly. "I know what it's like to be scared someone won't come back." Lily's grip tightened. "What happens now?" she asked. Daniel looked at the empty road, then back at the girl shaking in the rain. He made a decision that would change everything. "Now," he said, "you're not alone anymore." He took off his jacket and draped it around her shoulders. She stiffened at first, then relaxed as warmth settled in. "I'm taking you somewhere safe," he said. "Where?" Lily asked. Daniel didn't know the full answer yet, but he knew one thing for sure. He wasn't walking away. As they waited together under the flickering streetlight, Lily leaned slightly toward him, trusting a stranger in a world that had already failed her. And Daniel had no idea that the truth behind Lily's abandonment, who she really was and why she had been left there, would soon leave him completely stunned. Daniel brought Lily home that night. Not because he had a plan, he didn't, but because the thought of leaving her anywhere else felt impossible. Noah had stared at first, wide-eyed and curious, then quietly offered Lily his favorite blanket without being asked. That alone told Daniel he'd made the right choice. The next morning, Daniel contacted social services. What followed wasn't simple. Paperwork. Questions.
Doubt.
People who spoke in polite voices but never quite looked Lily in the eye. Lily sat beside Daniel the entire time, fingers folded neatly, listening to every word like it might determine her fate. Days turned into weeks. Lily stayed. At first, she barely spoke. She moved carefully, memorizing the layout of the apartment with slow, deliberate steps. She learned where the kitchen table was, how many steps to the bathroom, where the sunlight warmed the floor in the afternoons. Then something changed. She laughed. The first time, it surprised all of them. Noah had been explaining a joke terribly, so terribly it didn't make sense, and Lily burst out laughing anyway, the sound bright and unrestrained. Daniel froze, heart pounding, as if afraid the moment might disappear if he breathed too loudly. That night, Lily told him the truth. She hadn't always been blind. An illness when she was younger had taken her sight slowly. Medical bills followed. Then frustration. Then resentment. Her parents died in an accident 2 years earlier, and Lily was passed between relatives like an unwanted responsibility. Her aunt had promised to take care of things. Instead, she left Lily at a bus stop. "I heard her crying in the car," Lily said softly. But she still drove away. Daniel sat in silence, fists clenched. Rage flared, but so did something else. Purpose. Weeks later, another truth emerged. Lily had an extraordinary gift for music. Daniel discovered it by accident, finding her at the old keyboard, fingers moving with breathtaking certainty. She played melodies she had never been taught, songs she said she felt, rather than learned. A teacher came, then another. Scholarships were mentioned. Opportunities. Hope. One afternoon, Daniel received a call that made his knees weak. Lily's case had reached a foundation specializing in helping visually impaired children with exceptional talent. They wanted to help her fully. Education. Housing support. Medical care. Daniel stared at Lily as she sat across from him, humming softly, unaware that her life was about to change again. Only this time, she wouldn't be alone. "You saved me," Lily said later that night, her voice steady. Daniel shook his head.
No.
"You saved yourself. I just didn't walk away." Years passed. Lily stood on a stage one evening, her music filling a hall packed with people who had once never seen her at all. Daniel sat beside Noah, tears blurring his vision. The girl abandoned at a bus stop was gone. In her place stood someone who had been seen, helped, and believed in. And Daniel understood something then, something that stayed with him forever. Kindness doesn't require perfection. Helping doesn't require having extra. It only requires choosing not to turn away.